When you think about starting a poultry farm, don't just start, but do this one thing. Your poultry project is going to be successful. We want to make it as simple as possible. Therefore, find a pen or a pencil, a piece of paper, and a ruler like we've found. Otherwise, welcome to Creative Farm Projects YouTube channel, and thank you for joining with us. If you have not subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing plus hitting that notification bell so that you always get notified each time you upload a new video. And for better understanding of this issue, allow me consider this backstory. This is a colleague of ours who wishes to commercialize his poultry project. Currently, he has a few local chicken around just for subsistence benefit. And some 2 years back, he did poultry and was rearing broilers but didn't succeed because of the reasons that we are going to be sharing in the same video. At the moment, he is using the lower section of the poultry house for keeping goats, and then the upper one for keeping his subsistence local chicken. Remember, we have been tasked to transform this project into a commercial poultry farm. And the breed of chicken that we have considered for this commercial farm is none other than the broiler chicken. Watch this video until the end to journey with us as we explore the one thing that we did for his poultry project to be successful. You can as well use the same technique to start your poultry project and become successful. Therefore, get a piece of paper like we said, a pen and a ruler, and follow the steps that we are going to take you through to have it done. It is just going to be one page, but very transforming. And the first thing that we did was drawing these horizontal lines to enable us use our paper space maximally. This is actually what we need, and you can try as much as you can to have something like this. These lines have a space between them of 0.5 centimeters. Actually, that's why we used the other ruler. And as we begin, please understand my argument. How many of you agree with me that producing poultry is quite easy? It is, because most of us have the capital, and actually we can buy the chicks, build a chicken house, feed the chicks, and they mature up. That's quite easy. But now look at what will make you fail. And actually most of us don't do this one thing, and that's why our poultry projects fail. And maybe it applies for any other project. With this specific concept, we are calculating the likelihood of success. And we want to determine whether we shall be making profits or not. And this is very important, because when you get the money and invest it in any business, we should be able to tell whether you are going to get that money back. Otherwise, you will fail in that project. And so, allow us take you through what we always do for the poultry projects that we have done which have become successful. Remember, we said we want to be producing 100 broiler chicken per month. It means that every month we are going to be stocking 100 broiler chicken and releasing 100 broiler chicken into the market. And what we want to do is to determine the cost of production and then relate it to the cost of sales, or the revenue that we anticipate to make from sales, and then determine whether we shall make profits or not. This is going to be our cost of production. Remember, we have our structure, which we are going to use as the poultry house, but as you saw the structure, we need to make some repairs in the structure. And so we have included items like timber, nails. We want to bring in litter into the chicken house, then install drinkers, feeders, and maybe disinfect that place before we put the litter as well. So this is the amount that we are going to incur achieving all that. Maybe for your own case, you need something different, and at the same time, the price of the items that we have to buy will always vary or will always be different. it is always good if you always minimize the cost of production. So we try as much as we can to just use only that which we need. The values of money that we are using in this calculation are in Ugandan shillings, but you are free to convert it into dollars or any currencies of your choice. Under the cost of production, we have considered buying 1 month old chicks, 100 in number, and each one we have considered buying it at 8,000 Ugandan shillings. Then we went straight to the cost of feeding. Actually, this is going to determine whether you are going to make profits or not, because feeding takes over 80% of the daily expenses of any chicken farmer. So this means that before you start your poultry project, you must be in position to calculate the cost of feeding before you run into losses. Maybe see how we calculate for our own project. We have considered maize bland, concentrate, broken maize, lime, animal salt, premix, and some piece of tarpaulin where we are going to be mixing our chicken feeds from. And the rest are the ingredients that we are going to use to make the chicken feed. We went straight to the prices of these ingredients. And these prices vary depending on your location and sometimes on season. For example, for our case, the maize bland and the broken maize prices have increased significantly because of season. From the ingredients that we have, we are likely going to have 670 kilograms of chicken feed when mixed. And so we can easily get the total cost of feeding. And then after that, we get this total cost that we are going to incur in buying the chicken feed ingredients divided by 670 to get the price of the chicken feed that we are going to use per kilogram. This means that on average, the cost of our chicken feed is 1,350 Ugandan shillings per kilogram. And so we proceed to get the total cost of feeding, or the cost of feeding for our entire project. Here we want to determine how many kilograms of feed are going to be consumed by our chicken per month, and what is the cost of that amount of feed. And on average, we are going to feed our 100 broiler chicken only 12 kilograms of the chicken feed that we have mixed above. Of course, I meant 12 kilograms of chicken feed per day. And when you multiply by the number of days in a month, say 31 days or 30 days, depending on the month, it will give you the cost of feed that you are going to incur that month. And we are multiplying by 1,350 Ugandan shillings to get the total cost of feed. And after that, we can clearly tell the amount of money that we need to feed our chicken up to 5 months, because we need to raise these broiler chicken until they are 5 months, as we sell them off between that 4th and the 5th month. Then finally, we can compute our total cost of production by adding the cost of repairing the chicken house, buying feeders and the rest, then buying chicks. We also consider the total cost of feeding, so that we clearly know the amount of money that we are going to invest in our poultry project, which is a very important figure, because here we are going to be playing with cash. We are going to be investing in our money. We need to know how much we are going to invest, and probably we tell whether we shall get it back. And this is where it gets tough, as we think about who is going to give us our money back. And now we are thinking, after raising these 100 broilers, where are we going to sell them and at how much? Depending on our market, the one we have available, we are going to be selling our chicken at around 20,000 Ugandan shillings per chicken. So when we get that 20,000 times 100, assuming none of our broiler chicken dies along the way, we get a total of 2 million Ugandan shillings. This is awesome. We can clearly know how much we are going to sell, how much we are going to get as revenue from selling our chicken at the end. And it is time for us to determine the likelihood of success of our project. by calculating the profit we are likely going to get after selling our poultry at the end. When we see it very well, we just need to get the amount that we are getting from sales, and then we subtract the total cost of production. And you can't believe it, we are into losses, meaning that if we invest that cash without determining how much we are likely going to get as profit, we may end up into losses that we have not prepared for. Of course, we have a way through. Don't think like someone is not going to start their poultry project because they find out that they are going to make the losses along the way, and prepare to see what we do for our own projects, and maybe you can adopt the same for your own projects also. Watch and see how we have applied modifiers to earn around 800,000 Ugandan shillings per month using the same 100 broiler chicken plan. And the only way to go about it is reducing the cost of production and maybe try to maximize the revenue that we are going to be getting from the sales. I mean, we maximize and see if we could sell our chicken at maybe 25,000 Ugandan shillings or above. Of course, we find it hard to compromise on the cost of repairing the chicken house. We have chosen to let it stay the way it is, but we have created chances of buying our chicks at maybe 7,000 Ugandan shillings instead of 8,000. This is going to reduce on our cost of production, and now the total cost of buying chicks is around 700,000 only. Secondly, we have tried also to reduce on the cost of feeding, because now the prices of chicken feeds are high, but we expect them to be quite low, and then we reduce the cost of feeds to as low as 814 Ugandan shillings per kilogram. And now we try to get the total cost of feeding our chicken, and it is becoming now 1,094,000 Ugandan shillings. Then also we try as much as we can to get the total cost of production, and it becomes 2,015,000 Ugandan shillings. And finally we try to calculate the profit. Once again, we are getting a loss of 15,000 Ugandan shillings. And now you can see how challenging it gets, especially when you try to compare the revenue that you are trying to think about you'll get from sales and then the cost of production. This tells me that it is very important to do this practice before you start your poultry project. Finally, we choose another modifier, and now we are trying to be in details of our feeding plan, because like we've said, we have always considered 31 days to be making a month, but when we are taking care of our poultry, we always consider only 4 weeks to make a month. So we shall consider our poultry to be 1 month when they have 4 weeks, then 2 months when they have only 8 weeks, and so on. Then more to that, we have considered giving our poultry for the first month, I mean the second month, only 8 kilograms per day, because they are always still young, and those 8 kilograms can be enough. And again, we also considered raising our poultry until they are 4 months, and then we sell them off as fast as we can. And so we have considered only 15 days of the 5th month, and we are confident that at that stage we can sell those birds at 20,000 Ugandan shillings like we've been planning before. So it has no problem. The goal is to minimize the cost of production as much as we can, and also maximize the revenue as much as we can, so that we make a sizable profit. After applying that modifier on the cost of feeding our poultry, we realize that we are going to make a profit of 351,000 Ugandan shillings, and that's awesome, because all along we have been waiting for this result when we make profits from our poultry project. finally, this is how one can potentially make around 822,000 Ugandan shillings per month from this project. The only thing we have considered is when the system is now continuous and you don't have to incur costs in maybe repairing the chicken house, buying feeders, buying the drinkers, and etc. So it will be easy for us to maximize on the profit. Of course, this is our project and the other factors have been gotten freely because we have the labor around, the water is available for free, the means of transport are quite cheap, and we have neglected them, which might not be a case for your project. So if you wish to have a detailed plan for your poultry project, consider more factors like that one so that you don't miss out on the calculation, because we always feel you need to make a good plan and then move by that plan. Otherwise, if you also find it a bit challenging to make a plan for your poultry project or any other project, you can contact us on the numbers that we have put down below that you see on the screen. On our WhatsApp, we shall be in position to respond to any questions or any concerns about this poultry project plan. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this piece of content, don't forget to like the video, leave us a comment in the comment section, and maybe don't forget to subscribe plus hitting that notification bell so that you always get reminded each time we upload a new video.